Okay, final problems of the whole foldable. I'm going to go over these first two, one standard form and then one vertex form, and then you guys can go ahead and try these two and get your stamp for this section. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and find the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts of each function and then just make a quick sketch. So for this first one, to find the y-intercepts, I know that it's going to be quicker just because, like I said, if you guys have standard form to find y-intercept, it's just the c value. So I'll just do that first right now. Okay, my c value is -8, so that means that my y-intercept is going to be 0, -8. Okay, now I just need to find my x-intercepts. Again, you can use any method that you like, factoring, quadratic formula, or completing the square. I personally like to factor, so I'm just going to factor for this one. So here's my x puzzle. -8, x squared on top, and then 2x on the bottom. Two numbers that multiply to -8 but add to 2. I'm going to go ahead and put a 4x and a 2x, but my 2x needs to be negative. I can use a shortcut because there's no number in front. X plus 4, x minus 2 equals 8. After it's in factored form, use a zero product property. Set each of them equal to 0. Oops, sorry. This should be a minus 2. And then just solve for x for both of them. So this is going to give me x equals -4. X is +2. Go ahead and place that right here. And then I'm going to make my quick sketch. Okay, so x-axis at -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then x equals 2. There are my two x-intercepts, and then I also have one at a y-intercept at 0, -8. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in right now. It should make sense because my a value is positive, so it should be facing up. I don't have my axis of symmetry of vertex or anything, so just remember this is not the vertex, it's just part of the parabola. So a rough quick sketch just using my x and y intercepts will look like something like this. Okay. All right, so that's for standard form. And here is one for vertex form. And if it's in vertex form, then just use the square root method, just like above right here. Go ahead and rewrite this again. And set that equal to 0. Okay. So in order to do square root method, I have to move this 9 over. So let me subtract 9. This gives me a -x plus 1 squared equals -9. Before you take the square root, make sure you get rid of what the a value is, whatever number is in front. So I'm going to divide both sides by -1. X plus 1 squared equals +9. I want to get rid of that square. Take the square root. This gives me x plus 1 equals ±9. Oops, sorry. Square root of 9 is not 9, it is 3. Okay, and then move the 1 over by subtracting. And this gives me x equals -1 ± 3. Go ahead and just separate these two. So I have -1 plus 3 would give me 2. And then -1 minus 3 should give me -4. So those are my two x-intercepts. Okay. I should have left more space for the y-intercept. Why did I forget about that? That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and separate. This was for the x-intercepts. I'll do the y-intercepts over here. I think I should have enough space. Okay, for the y-intercept, I'm just going to plug in 0. Oh, this is missing an f right here. But I'm going to plug in a 0 for anywhere that I see the x. So right there. Okay, so again, solving for the y-intercept, we already did the x-intercept. So y-intercept, plug in 0 for x. This should give me -0 plus 1 squared plus 9. Okay, 0 plus 1 just gives me 1. It's 9. 1 squared gives me 1, but times that negative in front, that gives me -1 plus 9, which gives me 8. So my y-intercept should be at 0, comma 8. Okay, once I have my x and y intercepts, just go ahead and make a rough sketch. So x-intercepts at 2 and -4. And then my y-intercepts at 0.8. Okay, and this makes sense because I have a negative a value. It should be facing down. So let me just connect. It should look a little something like this. Again, this isn't your vertex. It's just your y-intercept. Okay, so there you have it. X and y intercept for both standard form and vertex form. Go ahead and try these two bottom problems and then get it checked and then get it stamped.